What's up, y'all? Brandon with BC Talks here. This past weekend was free comic book day. I hope y'all had a great weekend and time out supporting your local comic book shop. I definitely did. I hit up Comic Kings and Trilogy. I know that I have a few watchers of the channel that live in my local area and go to those shops because I saw someone at Trilogy while I was out this weekend, and I've seen some people at Comic Kings as well in the past. So shout out to all of y'all. And I definitely went ham this past weekend. If you watched last year's comic book haul on Free Comic Book Day, you know that I bought well over 100 books. This time I have at least 150, I think, if I counted right, of books between Trilogy and Comic Kings, my two local comic book shops. And this is going to be a long video. I have a full. This isn't even all of them. This is just everything from Trilogy, and then I have a few books from Comic Kings as well. So yeah, this is gonna be a long video. So let's get right into it. Before we get started, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for more comic book and pop culture talk. And make sure you give me a follow on Whatnot. I am a verified seller on the platform. And if you use my link down in the description, you'll save $10 off your first purchase if it's your first time signing up. And now, if you're not familiar with Whatnot, it's basically an online auctioning platform where you can buy all sorts of collectibles. And if you're into comics specifically, definitely give me a follow because I do live shows on there. I haven't done one in a while, but every so often. And then I also upload books to my bins on my marketplace there as well every so often. So shoot me a follow to stay tuned and updated for any books that I upload. And make sure you use that link in the description if it's your first time signing up to save a little money. Also, I apologize in advance to any hardcore Marvel stans, but this is a DC heavy haul. So, if you're not familiar with the channel, I am a huge DC fan. I got into comics through the animated shows Batman and Superman animated, the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, Teen Titans, Static Shock, all those DC animated shows. So I lean heavy towards DC. That's what I collect. I'm a big fan of the post-crisis DC era. So there is a ton of DC in this, lots of Superman in this, which in this haul, which by the way, James Gunn, who is currently filming the new Superman movie, released a picture the other day of the full Superman costume, which was really awesome to see. I really enjoyed that picture. It's got the new 52 neck collar, which a lot of people don't like the new 52. The new 52 is when I started getting back into reading comics regularly for a bit. So I have a special place in my heart for the new 52, even though I recognize it wasn't that great. I did like the Superman suit, and I also liked the first few issues of the Justice League run. And the Superman suit I thought was cool, so it's cool to see that new 52 collar. Also, the Kingdom Come crest, which we've seen before, and then he has the trunks, which Superman fans love the trunks. I'm impartial to the trunks, even though I'm a huge Superman fan, which seems sacrilegious. You'd think I'd have a hard stance on that, like most Superman fans do, but I'd rather have a well-written movie with no trunks than a bad movie with the trunks. But we're getting the trunks. And then obviously we saw Superman pulling his boots up like a everyman, and then in the background, they also a very long cape that goes all the way down to the ground. Edna Mode would not like his cape in this picture. And then in the background of the picture, out the window, we see some big eyeball thing that's shooting lasers on Metropolis. In pinkish, and pink is usually associated with either Lex Luthor or Brainiac. He's green, but he has the pink power modules on him as well, usually. So, which Lex Luthor also is associated with green as well. That's interesting. I never thought of that. That both his main villains have green and pink color schemes. But yeah. So a lot of people are thinking that's either Lex Luthor contraption or Brainiac thing. An eyeball might lean more toward Brainiac. But either way, I'm very interested to see what that is and really excited for that Superman movie. But back to the haul. There's a ton of Superman in this haul, lots of Batman, lots of George Perez and Marv Wolfman Teen Titans series, New Teen Titans and Tales of the Teen Titans, lots of Justice League. That's what I collect. There is a few Marvel books in this, but probably I'd say, 6 to 7 out of the 150 books are Marvel. So if you're a hardcore Marvel stan, sorry about that. That's just how I collect. I'm a big fan of the post-crisis era of DC specifically. You can see the slabs I have back here, and Yeah, that's what I collect mostly. So we'll get into the first books, which were from Comic Kings, which was the second shop that I went to later in the day. They had dollar bins out, and you could get 10 free books from the dollar bins. And they also had half off on their back issues, as well as a few other sales throughout the store. But those are the sales that I took advantage of. So I've got 10 dollar bin books here, and then a few back issues. So we'll get into that. The first book we have here that was free was Green Lantern number 12. This is the first cameo appearance of Brick, which that's not Brick on the cover. That is Nort. If you're familiar with DC, you know that, obviously. Brick is a Green Lantern that Hal Jordan recruited from a planet of sentient rock beings. So basically, beings kind of like the Thing from Marvel. And now, if you're a Green Lantern fan, you know there's a ton of weird Green Lanterns. And I'm actually planning on doing a series, a episode in the comic series, which if you're not familiar with that series, it's a series of shorts I have on the channel where I talk about fun facts and different things from comics. And that video though is probably going to have to be an actual video because there's so many weird and wacky Green Lanterns that I would not be able to fit them in a 60-second long video. TikTok gives you a little bit more length. Hey, yo, whoa. TikTok gives you a little bit more time on the videos. But YouTube Shorts can only be 60 minutes or 60 seconds. So I'm gonna have to make a much longer video because there's no way I can fit everything into a 60-second short about the Green Lanterns. There's so many different weird ones, and Brick and Nort are two of those featured in this comic. The next issue, so yeah, stay tuned for that video coming at some point in the future. The next issue we have here is another Green Lantern. It is Green Lantern number 20. This is the first appearance of Boudica, who is a powerful female Alpha Lantern. Now, Boudica is actually on the cover of this one, and she is basically a space warrior Xena mommy Green Lantern. Like Xena warrior princess. That's basically what she is, but from space. And a Green Lantern. She also appeared in the animated movie Green Lantern First Flight as well, which was I thought was a pretty okay movie. This next one we have here is Justice League Europe number 1, or Justice League Europe Annual number 1. Sorry, this is the annual, and this is not a key; it's just run filler for my. I collect the Giffen and DeMatteis run of the Justice League, so that one is going to go in there. This is another Giffen and DeMatteis Justice League issue. This one is actually a key. It is Justice League America number 18, and this is the beginning of Lobo's distinct character development as he's known today. Now, obviously, if you're a comic book fan, you know that the first appearance of Lobo is in Omega Men number 3, but he was basically just like a bounty hunter, and he didn't really have the personality like he does today. The main man, kind of like a WWE star, a superstar, is what Lobo has become today. He gets that personality in the Giffen and DeMatteis Justice League series. Which kind of shaped the personalities for a lot of DC characters as we know them today, including Lobo. So even though that Omega Men number 3 is way more expensive than this issue, which I actually also already have this issue, I just picked it up because I couldn't leave it for free. It's one of my favorite covers in this series, with Lobo kind of holding holding Guy Gardner. I don't know why my mind. Sometimes that happens. I can't remember their names. Guy Gardner is holding Guy Gardner there, and the next cover or the next couple covers, I can't remember which one. It's reversed where Guy Gardner is holding Lobo like this. So those two are funny covers. But yeah, I have this cover, but this one's actually in really good condition for being in a dollar bin. And for being for free, so I couldn't leave it there. I might swap this one out for the one I have. I think the one I have might be worse condition. I have to check. But yeah, even though Omega Men number 3 is the first appearance of Lobo, I feel like this one needs to get more respect because this is really the first appearance of the modern Lobo, you could say, the way that everyone knows him, the main man, the WWE superstar. Jason Momoa. This next one is Tales of the Teen Titans number 69. Nice. That is not a key. It is just gonna go in my Marv Wolfman George Perez Teen Titans collection. This next one is Doom Patrol number 12. This one is also not a key, but it is gonna go in my Gyat covers collection, which y'all can see there. The Gyat. There's actually a few of those covers like that for both men and women. You'd be surprised how many there are. I have quite a few of them that I pick up from dollar bins and whatnot just for fun. Uh, as a meme. This next one was also a cover by. It is Avengers Spotlight number 39. And this is, like I said, it's not a key. It was a cover by. It's a cover of Black Knight. Black Knight is a cool looking character. I like his aesthetic, and you see he's got the horse there. Now, we'll see if they ever actually end up doing anything with him. Old Jon Snow. If you're not familiar, Kit Harington plays Black Knight, or he plays I forget his actual name. He plays the regular version of the character, his alias, or his civilian identity, I guess you could say, in the Eternals. I can't remember his name, but at the end of Eternals, in one of the post-credit scenes, we see he's looking at the sword, and then Blade is calling out to him. But we don't know if they're gonna ever do anything with that. Just like the other post-credit scene in the Eternals with Harry Styles as Star Fox, we don't know if they're actually gonna do anything with that either. We haven't seen any hints of anything of Star Fox at all, or Black Knight. So it'll be interesting to see, or anything from Eternals, really. So it'll be interesting to see if they do anything with that. This next one is Star Trek number 50. Now this one, I a couple of videos ago, if you remember, I picked up a. Actually, I think I still have it over here because I keep forgetting to bring it with me when I go visit my mom. This one I got for my mom a couple videos ago, and I put it in a Mylar, so now it's shining. It's hard to see in the camera, but yeah, it's a cool cover of Star Trek: The Next Generation because she's a Star Trek: The Next Generation fan, and basically watching the reruns growing up is what got me into the Next Generation. I'm more of a Next Generation fan than I am the original series, but this one is the original series. Obviously, you see we got William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy down there in the middle as well. But I got this, even though I'm a Next Generation fan, I got this because it's a really cool cover, and it was free. So I was like, yeah, I really like this cover, so I'm gonna keep it just for my collection. Um, because I like that cover, the color scheme and whatnot. This next one is a one of those Radio Shack issues. It is Story of Electronics. This is the science fair story of electronics about the U.S. NASA telescope, and obviously it's a Radio Shack promotional comic. You can see down there. There's probably not watching this video because I think my demographics say that it's mostly mid 20s and up, like mid 20s to late 40s and 50s that watch my videos. But and that's generally the comic book audience in a nutshell as well. So I don't know if there is anyone younger watching my videos, but I was gonna say younger people, Gen Z and down probably don't know what Radio Shack is, or they know what Radio Shack is, but they've never been in one. Just like Blockbuster. Um, but yeah, when I was a little kid and we go to the Dollar Tree, I'd go into the Radio Shack as well. I don't remember there being comics there, but maybe I wasn't looking for them, or also maybe in the early 2000s they had stopped making the comics. Or putting them into the Radio Shacks. But yeah, I have a few of those kind of promotional and sort of promotional issue comics and propaganda comics. Those are interesting. This next one is Comics Interview number 21. I like picking these up when I see them in dollar bins, or in this case for free. It's just interesting to see the perspective of the writers and artists. So that's a cool one to pick up. This next one, or these next few now, are that was 10 of the free books that I got. And so these next few are back issues, which were half off. This is X-Men number 54. This is a key. It's the identity of Onslaught revealed as Professor X. Now, if you're not familiar with Onslaught, he's basically the consciousness of Professor X and Magneto sort of melded together into a sentient being. um, now, I got this because there's a lot of speculation going around that Onslaught, we might see Onslaught in the X-Men 97 series, which after the past episode, the last week's episode, I think definitely we could see that. Right now they're doing Bastion, but I think that we could see Onslaught, at some point in that series, especially after what we've seen happen the past couple episodes. Um, This next one is a cover by as well. It is Iron Man number 182. It is a key, it's a minor key, the first appearance of Tim Anders. Now, this Iron Man series, or Iron Man in general, has a lot of iconic covers. I really love this cover. There's also obviously probably the most popular and well known one, Iron Man number 128, which is the Demon in the Bottle cover. There's also Tales of Suspense 39 is a great cover, which is the first appearance of Iron Man. And there's also Iron Man 282, which is the first War Machine cover. I really love that cover as well. Iron Man's got a ton of iconic covers, and I think that this one should be up there, even though it's not a huge key like those other ones. I think this one deserves to be up there. It's just a really iconic cover. Um, I love it, and I was glad to pick that up for cheap for my collection. This next one is Iron Man 227. This one is a key. It is Armor Wars Part 3. It's also cameo appearances from multiple celebrities from the 80s, including Don Johnson, Hulk Hogan, brother, Donald Trump. I can't do Trump. Lionel Richie, Michael J. Fox, Tina Turner, and George Wendt. It's also a Stark Battle Shields Mandroids, which you can see there on the cover. Now, I have a few of these issues where they put celebrities in the comics as cameos. I really think those are funny cameos to have. So that one I got for that for the celebrity cameos. Oh, this next one is for my Chris Claremont Uncanny X-Men run. This is Uncanny X-Men 149. It's not a key, but it's a run filler for my Claremont run. Um, this next one is also Uncanny X-Men, but it's not for the Claremont run. This one, because the Claremont run goes to like 280 something. I can't remember what it is, like 84 or something like that. Excuse me. But this one is a key. This is the first full team appearance of the Phalanx in their true form. They also cameoed in 305. Now, the Phalanx are basically techno-organic cyborg aliens, so they're basically Ultron from space. And I got this because I feel like they're another character that might be pulled from the comics to be used in the animated X-Men 97 series, maybe in the second season as minor villains. And I could also see them in live action as well as minor villains once we finally get the live action Uncanny X-Men, or the live action X-Men in Marvel and the MCU. This next one is Uncanny X-Men Annual number 9. This is the first appearance of Stormcaster, which is the hammer that Storm is swinging on the cover. It was created by Loki and given to Storm, and I actually think they got married in this issue, if I'm not mistaken, as well. This was kind of like an Elseworlds alternate story with Storm and Loki, and he gives her this hammer called Stormcaster, and the cover obviously is inspired by Journey into Mystery number 83. So it's a cool cover there. And this last one here is not a key, just another cool cover by. It is Dazzler number 32. This is a painted Bill Sienkiewicz cover. Bill Sienkiewicz, I love painted covers. You know, Alex Ross obviously is the goat of painted covers, but Bill Sienkiewicz has some great painted covers as well. And this is one. I think in the New Mutants run, he has some great painted covers in that run as well, if I'm not mistaken. It's either New Mutants or what's the other one? I can't remember the other one. But yeah, there's a couple runs where he has some great painted covers. But yeah, that is everything that I got from Comic Kings. All right, and these next books are from Trilogy. I always go to Trilogy first because they have like tons of dollar bins that they move out to the front of the store, and it's first come first serve. And basically, all of the books in the dollar bins are 25 cents each. So that you can get some really great books. The first 5 are free, and then the rest are 25 cents. So, yeah, that is where the majority of this haul is going to come from. Now, the first book, actually, the first few here are Marvel books. So the Marvel stands can be happy, rejoice. This first one is Uncanny, or not Uncanny, sorry, regular X-Men. X-Men number 11. This is, of course, an iconic Jim Lee cover. Everybody has seen this cover before. It's a great Jim Lee cover. This next one is Spider-Woman number 1. This is the first solo series featuring Julia Carpenter as Spider-Woman. Now, Julia Carpenter, obviously, we saw Sydney Sweeney play that character in that terrible Madam Web movie. Now, this might sound a little simpish, but I actually enjoyed Sydney Sweeney as Julia Carpenter for what they gave her. You know, the character that they had her play, I didn't think she was that bad. Actually, all the girls really didn't do that bad of a job, with their interactions with each other and their specific characters. It was really just the writing of the movie and the direction of the movie and the way they decided to tell that story, as well as basically everything else with the movie. I thought that the girls themselves that played the characters did decent jobs. It was just the rest of the movie that was not good. But yeah, that is Sydney Sweeney's character there, and this is her first solo series. Actually, if you look here, if you just look here, there was kind of good casting, I guess. This next one is Magic #1. This is from the 4-issue limited series of Magic. If you're not familiar with Magic, that is Ilyana Rasputin. She is the younger sister of Colossus, and she's essentially a mutant magic user who's tied to a demonic realm called Limbo. um, and that's kind of her backstory. And we saw Morph actually in X-Men 97. I think it was episode 3 of X-Men 97. Morph transformed into her. So we saw her in that show. And then also Anya Taylor-Joy, who's another great actress who was given a terrible script. She played Ilyana Rasputin Magic in the terrible New Mutants movie, which is basically the last fart from Fox before Disney got the X-Men. Um, so yeah, that was this is Magic. So that's two back-to-back characters played by good actresses in really bad movies. um, this next one is X-Men 37. This is the first appearance of Paige Guthrie as Husk. It's also has cameo appearances in several issues as Cannonball's sister. I think that they might have shown Husk in the background of not Uncanny, I keep saying Uncanny, of X-Men 97 as well. This next one is Super Sons #9. This is not a key, but if you've been following the channel for the past few months, you know that I basically have been coming upon the Super Sons series in spurts. So I saw another one, so I will pick it up for that collection. I'm a big fan of the Super Sons. I was kind of disappointed when they aged up John Kent. I kind of wish they had left him the same age as Damian, just to have that series, continuing. They had a really great dynamic together, Damian Wayne and John Kent. But these next few are some Star Trek: The Next Generation issues that I got for my mom, because when I saw her the other day, she said she wanted to read the comic. I got that other one just for the cover for her to have, but she said she wanted to read it. So I was like, well, I saw a bunch of these, so I got them. And also for the covers as well. I really like this cover here with the team. This is Star Trek: The Next Generation, the Modala Imperative. This one's not a key. Um, this next one is Star Trek: The Next Generation #1. This one is a key. It is adapted from the television series, and it's the first appearance of Captain Picard, Data, Tasha Yar, Worf, and Commander Riker. So basically, the whole Next Generation team in comics. So that one's a cool one. I kind of want to keep that one because it's the first appearances, and it's a really cool cover as well. This next one is #2, which is not a key. I don't think the rest of them are keys. Then we have #3. Or sorry, no, that was #4, not #3. And this is #5. They didn't have #3. So I guess I'll have to skip one. Might get a little confused. And then #6. Here. There are more. #11, I like this cover here. #12, I also like this cover here with Geordi and Data there, front and center. Or yeah, no, sorry, this is #18, not #12. I was just going in order, but this is 18. They didn't have 12. Let me skip a few. This one is #28. This one's Geordi, and I forget. Is that her name? Kaliers? I forget her name. I think in the Picard series she was in it. The newest Picard series, which I haven't watched. I watched a couple episodes of that first, season, but it was not great. But I've heard that season 3, they kind of retooled things and it got a lot better. So I might have to go back to the Picard series. I've heard a lot of good things about season 3. Then we have number 44. I really like this cover as well. The last Star Trek one we have is 79. Or no, sorry, this is 35. So that one was out of order. And this one is 79, which I like this cover as well. Um, this one is the last one that I got. So we got a nice little run of Star Trek The Next Generation issues there. And then next up, we have a ton of Superman related comics. Like I said, I'm a big Superman fan, and I got a ton of them. So this first one is Superboy #1. This one is not a key, but the description reads the weekly syndicated live action Superboy television show debuted in the fall of 1988, ranking #1 in its time slot in most of the 160 plus markets. In the fall of 1989, the series returned to TV with a new cast, new stories, and a DC Comics Superboy comic book series, which was this, to support it. Yeah, that was this. Superboy #1. I like the cover with the actual picture of them on there. And then this is another live action related issue. This is a Superman 4 movie special #1. This is an adaptation. This one is a key. The key is it's an adaptation of Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. So I can see up there. And then it's the first appearance of Nuclear Man 1 and 2, the movie universe version. And then the adaptation includes original dialogue and deleted scenes from the film's early draft of the screenplay. So that's interesting. I really like the cover there with the American flag. This next one is Supergirl #20. I got this one because it's not a key, but I got it because it includes cameos from the new Teen Titans and the Justice League. Not the Giffen and DeMatteis Justice League, the one that was pre-Crisis. As you can see, it's a different logo. But as I mentioned earlier, the Marv Wolfman and George Perez Teen Titans series was pre-Crisis. I think it was like 1984, if I'm not mistaken. And so it ported over from pre-crisis and basically kept the same tone. Um, so yeah, that's the teen. I got it for the new Teen Titans cameo because I'm a fan of that series, obviously. This next one is Superman: The Wedding Album #1. This is the newsstand edition. And this one featured writing and art from several iconic artists and writers. They're all on the page here. You got Dan Jurgens, we got John Byrne, we got Roger Stern, Louise Simonson, David Michelin, Carl Kessel, Gil Kane, Bob McLeod. Who else we got? We got Dick Giordano, George Perez is in here. So yeah, tons of really popular and well-known artists and writers came together on the wedding issue. And then I have another one as well. This one is the DC Universe Standard Edition. So it's got the DC Universe logo down there. And then I have another one. This one is a cool one. This is the collector's edition. So it's hard to see in the camera. I think if I put it up, you can see it's got the embossed um with Superman logo, which is kind of like indented out of the book. Um, it's hard to see it. Maybe if I kind of hold it that way, you can kind of see like that. You can see the logo. So yeah, we got a few of those. And then we have Phantom Zone #1. This one is not a key, but it's from the Phantom Zone series from 1982. Then we have the World of Krypton. This is gonna be like a few random Superman series. You got the World of Krypton #1. Also not a key. I like this cover though. Then we have the Legacy of Superman #1. Also not a key, but a cool cover as well. Then we have Superman: The Man of Steel Number one, this one is not a key, but I got it. It's gonna go in my Twin Towers cover. You can see that the World Trade Center's up there in the corner there. That will go in the Twin Towers cover. You'd be surprised how many covers have the Twin Towers on them. I have at least, 4 or 5 of them that I've found in random dollar bins and for free. Or in that case, 25 cents. This one is number 47 from that same series. This one is a key. It is a flashback to the first meeting of Perry White and Franklin Stern and their struggle with the Aryan Brotherhood. So you can see that on the cover. You can see the hooded KKK figures and the burning cross as well. Um, so that's going to go in my. I have a controversial racial related issues collection. So that'll go with those. And then we have a run of the Superman the Man of Steel. This was the 1986 series, which was the post crisis series. And this one is a key. This one is a variant cover by John Byrne. It was actually the first international variant cover, and it was available from comic book stores only. So that's interesting. And then obviously it's the origin of Superman reimagined. It is also Crisis on Infinite Earths. It is the first post-crisis appearance of Superman. Was this series, and the first appearance of Kalex, which is the artificial intelligence of the fort in the Fortress of Solitude. Um, Now I actually missed out on a bundle of this series a few months ago on eBay that I was looking at for a good price. So I was very happy to see this series. It's missing one issue, but yeah, I was. It was cool to see this series in the dollar bins for 25 cents since I had missed out on it a few months ago. So yeah, that was number one. And of course, I'm a big post-crisis DC fan, so it's awesome to have the first post-crisis series of Superman. This is number two. This series also has some great covers. That last one, which was the variant cover by John Byrne. This one, it's missing number three, so we skip to number four, and then we have number five, and lastly number six. It was a 6 issue series. You can see up there at the top. So this is the last one, number six. So now I just need to find number three somewhere. This next one is Superman Save the Planet. Number one. This is a one of those acetate covers, which and I like this cover. So you pull it off to the side, and yeah, so the image of Superman is on the acetate cover there, which is basically just the laminated plastic thing on here, and then it opens. Oh, it opens up to this cool kind of like newspaper from the Daily Planet. I thought that was cool. So yeah, that's a cool one there. Then we have another mini series. This is Superman: The Secret Years. We have this is number one. We also have number three, so no number two. And then we have a number four. And that was it. This next one is Superboy, number one. This one is a key. It's just a minor key, the first appearance of Knockout. But I like the '90s Superboy costume where he has the jacket and the goggles. I've always liked that costume. It'd be interesting to see. It feels like James Gunn would do that in the movies, have him have that, even though it's kind of out of style now. This next one is Superman number 50. This is Mr. Mxyzptlk reveals himself to also be Marvel's Impossible Man and claims to he needs to visit his four friends, which obviously would be him referencing the Fantastic Four from Marvel. The quote is, "Oops, sometimes it's just impossible to remember what I look like from world to world." So basically, he's trying to say that he can travel dimensions and goes from Marvel, and that he's Impossible Man from Marvel, which, if you don't know, Impossible Man is one of the early Fantastic Four villains. So that's an interesting thing. Then we have a few issues of classic, obviously Superman 75. This is the second print of the death of Superman. It's also the death of Doomsday. And every page of this issue is a full or double splash page. And of course, it's one of the most highest selling comics of all time, with over 6 million issues sold. So this is one of the more popular comics and one of the biggest events in comics, really. Like Crisis on Infinite Earths, the death of Superman, all that stuff. And then this is 75 as well. This is an unabridged version of the Black Bag Memorial Edition. I've never seen this one, so that was interesting to pick up. Then we have number 78, which is one of those window covers. So you open it up and you can see Cyborg Superman. And this is a key. It's the first solo story featuring Cyborg Superman, who you can see there. So that's a cool one. This one is going to go in my classic 90s covers. This is Superman number 82. And as y'all can see, it's like that shiny foil chrome. And if you open it up, you can see that on the inside as well, the foil. So yeah, that classic 90s foil chrome kind of, is it embossed as well? A little bit. It's actually, yeah, I guess it is. Not as embossed as some other of these covers, but a little bit embossed. So that one will go in my classic 90s covers collection. If you don't know, I used to hate covers like this that are like chrome and foil and embossed and whatnot. But I over time I came to really like them, and so now I collect them. It's funny. This next one is Action Comics 583, which is a key. The key is that it's written by Alan Moore, titled "Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow" Part 2. It's also the first full appearance of Jonathan Elliott, who is the superpowered baby son of Superman and Lois, and an alternate reality where the Clark identity was revealed and changed to Jordan Elliott. And now this is not to be confused with their canonical son, John Kent. This is Jonathan Elliott, an alternate universe version of him. So not John Kent, even though both their names are Jonathan. Then we have Action Comics 584. This is this is not a key, but I got it again because it's a cameo with or a crossover with the Marv Wolfman Teen Titans. Then we have 600. This one is the anniversary issue celebrating Superman's 50th year, and the cover art is inspired by Superman Annual number 7. Then we have Action Comics 627. I got this for the Nightwing cover. Y'all know I'm a big fan of Nightwing's disco suit. Every time I see it and I put it in a video, I implore James Gunn to please give us the disco suit of Nightwing, even if it's just as a joke or a cameo. I would love to see Nightwing, Dick Grayson in this suit because I love this suit so much. The next one here we have, I believe this is a key. Yeah, it is. It's a minor key. It is 636 of Action Comics. It is the first appearance of the second Phantom Lady. Then we have Action Comics 662. This is Clark Kent tells Lois Lane that he is Superman. Then we have Action Comics 672. This is one of the 16-page Sonic the Hedgehog comic insert comics. So basically, I talked about this on the channel way before, like last year, if I'm not mistaken. I had one of these. In this year, or the year before, or no, it wasn't the year before. This was actually like a couple of months before this. I think these came out in December, and then the Sonic one came out in September or something like that. The first appearance of Sonic in a comic book was this year. And so a couple of months later, they put these inserts into several different DC comics of the first issue of this Sonic the Hedgehog comic. So it's basically the exact same comic that came out, but they put it into this form and stapled it to the inside of these DC comics. So it's a little insert there you can see. So it's not the first appearance of Sonic. The first appearance of Sonic was this same comic, but in an actual comic. And then they put these inserts a couple months later into all these DC comics. I tried to take it out so I could have it, separately. And that last year when I got the one with it, and I destroyed the comic. But I think I have another one with an insert, if I'm not mistaken, that I got from Trilogy for 25 cents. So since I have two of them, I might try again. All right, so that was all of the Superman. Lots of Superman. Now we're going to move on to Batman. So we have Batman Annual number 14. This is a great cover. And this is the origin of Two-Face told throughout the entirety of the 68-page issue. And there's also a sequence in this issue where a house was rigged to explode, was mostly omitted for fear that readers would attempt the method in real life. So basically, they showed you how to blow up a house, and they were like, maybe we shouldn't put that in a comic, and so they kind of took it out, or changed it. So yeah, that's an interesting thing, and I love this cover as well. Great cover of Two-Face there. Then we have Batman 431. This is the first appearance of Kirigi, who is a member of the League of Assassins, who was at one time a mentor to Batman and Bronze Tiger. So a little minor Batman character there. Then we have one that I talked about before on the channel in the comics series. This is Batman number 452. It is the first mention of Barbatos, the Bat God of the Dark Multiverse. And again, I talked about this in the comics series. If you haven't seen it, I will probably leave a link up at the top of the video to the short. It was a short I made about Barbatos, who's basically this Bat God which cursed Gotham. And that's why the reason why Gotham is so dark and dreary. This was his first appearance. And then we have 454, which is another in the run of the Batman Dark Knight Dark City run. It's not a key, though. Batman 500, which is a key. This is where Azrael stands in for Batman after Bane breaks Bruce Wayne's back in Batman 497, which actually, where is it at? Yeah, I have it over here. I talked about this on the channel before, because I picked up the issue where Batman breaks Bane's back in a 9/8 in a few videos ago. And it's shining in the light there. You can see it there. And so I picked that up, and now we have the issue of the aftermath of that, number 500, where Batman's back was broken, so Azrael becomes Batman in Batman's place, because Gotham needs a Batman. This next one is not a key, it's just a cool cover. It's Detective Comics 620. I like that cover there. There's a lot of cool covers in that era, from like 400 to like the mid 600s Batman or Detective Comics. There's a lot of cool covers in that. This next one is 626, which is a minor key. It's the first appearance of the second Electrocutioner. It's a little minor key there. Then we have Detective Comics 629, which is the first appearance of Blackgate Penitentiary. Now, a lot of people confuse Blackgate and Arkham. Arkham is an asylum for the mentally unwell. It's called Arkham Asylum. It's basically a mental hospital. Now, Blackgate is an actual prison. Blackgate is where the villains that aren't mentally insane go. Just the regular villains. They go to Blackgate. So this is the first appearance of Blackgate, which is the prison in Arkham. Even though Arkham Asylum is basically run like a prison, and it basically is a prison. I don't think anybody's getting rehabilitated in Arkham Asylum. They're usually just, getting broken out. And then we have, this is a cool cover. I don't think this is not a key, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's not a key. Just a cool cover here. Detective Comics 635. This is the other one I was talking about. This one also has the Sonic insert in it. You can see there. So this is the other one. So out of those two, since I have two of them, and this one's not a key other than having the Sonic insert in it, so I might try to pull the Sonic insert out more carefully this time from one of those so I can have it separately. Then we have Detective Comics 644. This is another minor key. It's the first appearance of the third Electrocutioner. Then we have Detective Comics 6 85, which is the first appearance of Silver Monkey, a mercenary, another minor Batman key. And then we move on to Justice League, the Giffen and DeMatteis series. Starting off with Justice League Europe number 16. This is not a key, it's just some run filler. I think I'm actually going to move these up here. Hold on 1 second. All right, I moved the rest of them up here onto the desk so I don't have to keep reaching down there. I should have done that earlier, to be honest. But so like I said, we're getting into the Justice League ones. The next one here is Justice League Europe number 34. This is not a key, it's just run filler. Then we have Justice League Annual number 5. This is not a key, just some run filler. I like the cover though. Then we have New Teen Titans. So now we're getting into Teen Titans. New Teen Titans number 12, which is not a key, run filler. Most of these are going to be run filler. If there are any keys, it'll be minor keys because I already have most of the major keys for this series. This one is 13. This is not a key, again, just run filler. Then we have 15, which is a key. It is the death of Madame Rogue, who's killed by Beast Boy, and the death of General Zal by suicide. So that is a minor key there. Then we have number 16, which you'll probably recognize if you're a comic book collector. It is a preview of Captain Carrot and the Amazing Zoo Crew. Little meme kind of animal superhero crew there. Next one we have is 19, which is not a key. That's just run filler. And actually, I didn't go through my my documents to see which ones I already had. So I just picked up most of them that were in good condition. So I more than likely, and even in here, I have a few duplicates. So I more than likely have duplicates from my collection. But I'll swap out the ones that are in good condition and get rid of the other ones. So we'll be either upgrading or adding to my collections here today. This next one is New Teen Titans 23. Which is actually a key. It is the first full appearance of Blackfire and the first appearance of Adrian Chase, who becomes Vigilante. So that is two characters that we've seen. Well, we haven't seen Blackfire in live action, but if you grew up watching the Teen Titans animated series like I did, you know Blackfire. And there's those memes that go around about how, if you liked these women or picked these women, your taste in women as an adult got shaped by, Blackfire and Shigo. And the one from what's that other show? I forget what it is in the meme, but I'll throw the memes up there so y'all can see. Or if you picked Blackfire over Starfire, we know what your taste in women is today. Those kind of memes. And then we saw Adrian Chase, obviously, as Vigilante in the Peacemaker series. So two DC characters there that are pretty cool. This next one is New Teen Titans number 27. This one is not a key, or no, it is a key. It's the minor key. It's a preview of the Atari Force. And I'm still bending down even though I put these up here. I have to make sure they don't curl over on each other though in the box. This next one is from the second New Teen Titans series. This is number 5. Number 3. And number 3 is not a key. Number 5 is a key, which is this one. And I have 2 of them here. This is the death of Trigon the Terrible, which obviously is another prominent character in the Teen Titans animated series, if you watched that growing up. This next one is New Teen Titans 6, which is not a key. I like the cover, though. And then we have New Teen Titans number 10, which is also not a key. Then we have, this is another one, number 10. Like I said, there are duplicates. Then I picked up number 12. And like I said, these are in pretty decent condition other than like some dirt and whatnot, which could be cleaned. These are in decent condition for books that were in, dollar bins. This is number 12, which is not a key. And there were 2 of them. I like the cover there with Nightwing and Starfire in a wedding. Then we have number 13, which is not a key. I think there's not a key for a while. Yeah, not till number 20. So I'll run through these. 14, 16. That one's featuring the Omega Men. It's a duplicate of 16. We have 17, which is another one with tattered Starfire wedding dress. I like this cover. That's cool. And we have a duplicate of 17. These are also very good quality. They should make the comics like this quality now. Very rigid and stiff. Hey yo. This next one is number 20, which is a minor key. This is when Jason Todd joins the Teen Titans, which you know Jason Todd is one of the Robins. Later became Red Hood. And so that's a cool cover there as well. Then we go on another run. I don't think there's any more keys. Let me look here. Yeah, I don't think there's any more keys in that run. So, at least not that I have here. So we'll go through these quick. That is 25. Another duplicate of 25. Then we have 27. Like that cover. We have 28, which I have 2 copies of 28. We have 32. 33. 34. 35. 40. I like this cover. 44. 45. I like this cover too. 46. That's a cool cover as well. And this cover I like too. There's a lot of good covers. 47. 49. 66, which will also go in my marriage and kiss cover collections there. But it is not a key though. And I have another one of 66. Then we skip all the way to 88. We have 89. 90. The box is getting full now. I like this cover, and this is going to go in the classic 90s covers and the the wedding marriage covers as well. This is number 100, and y'all can see you can see it a lot easier in this. It's got that kind of chrome multicolor rainbow thing going on there. So that'll go in the classic 90s covers, number 100. And that one is not a key, surprisingly. You'd think it would be a key since it's number 100, but it's not. But I do like that cover. Then we move on to the Tales of the Teen Titans series, which also doesn't have a ton of keys. At least not that I have here. This one is 53. Not a key. This one is a key, and it's a floating heads cover, which y'all know I love floating head covers as well. And the key is it's a cover appearance of Deathstroke, so not really a huge key, but it is. I do like this cover for the floating heads and for Deathstroke as well. So that's a cool one. Then we have 55, which is also a key only because of a cover appearance of Deathstroke. That's an interesting thing to have it be a key for, just because Deathstroke's on the cover. I wonder why. Then we have I like this cover. This is 58. Oh, okay, we're back. This one is 58. I dropped it. This is a minor key. It's a Crisis on Infinite Earths tie-in. This issue was published months after the Monitor made its first appearance in Crisis on Infinite Earths #1, which is back there. Yet this panel features the Monitor in his in-story chronological debut, meaning part of this story happened prior to the events of Crisis on Infinite Earths #1 back there. So that's interesting. It was a tie-in, but part of the story happened before this came out. So that's interesting. And I like that cover too with Cyborg on it. This next one is Tales of the Teen Titans #60. That's not a key. Then we have Tales of the Teen Titans 61. And I think there's not a key until actually I don't think any of the rest of them are keys. Yeah, none of the rest of them are keys, so we can run through them. That's 61. I like that cover. We have 62. We have 63. I like this cover. Is that considered floating heads? Their heads are floating. I would consider that floating heads cover. I'll add that to the floating heads cover collection. That is 64. Then we have 68. 69, nice. 70. This is like half the run. 71. Which, if you watched my video a while back, when I went to the Brimfield Fair in Connecticut, or I guess Massachusetts, it's like right above the border of Connecticut. In Massachusetts, I picked up, there was a dying comic book shop that has had like great deals on their books, and I picked up most of the Teen Titans run, so I'm definitely going to have duplicates here. 74. We have 75. I like this cover. Or, yeah, 75. I like this cover as well. 79. 81. 82. Ooh. And 83. Sorry, I had to fix the box. 84. 86. I think I'm going to move the box and swap it for this one. So then we have 88. 89, which I have. Oh, no, it's not another one. Just kidding. 89. This one is 91. I like this cover. And this actually looks like it's supposed to be an homage to the Giffen and DeMatteis Justice League #1 cover. And all the #1s, like Justice League Europe #1, the other #1s, where they redo this cover. It looks like that's supposed to be an homage to that. Then we get into the Spotlight Teen Titans issues. This is Teen Titans Spotlight on Aqualad. This is #10, and I don't think there's any keys in these ones either. There's not. Okay, so we'll run through those. Spotlight #11. I needed a few of the spotlights. The spotlights were the ones I had the least, so this will help for the collection as well. This is Nightwing. This is #14. Then we have the Omega Men. That is #15. We have Thunder and Lightning in #16. Then we have Cyborg in #20. Yes, #20. I like that cover. And then this one is New Teen Titans Annual number 2, which is not a key. And then this is Annual number 4, again, not a key. And then the last few here are like little trade paperback kind of things. This is Lex Luthor, the Unauthorized Biography number 1. It's a one shot that was published in 1989, reimagining Lex Luthor as a corporate executive, and the cover art is inspired by Trump's Art of the Deal book, which was published a couple years before in 1987. So, yeah, an homage to that Trump cover. Not a good look for Trump to be compared to Lex Luthor, even way back then. It almost seems like they might have been sentient, or maybe there was a time travel over at DC. But that's an interesting cover there. Basically, a biography of Lex Luthor. Then we have Superman, Wonder Woman, Whom Gods Destroy, and this one's actually written by Chris Claremont. There's not very many Chris Claremont DC books to my knowledge, so this is an interesting one here that aren't related to like because I know he did that crossover with Justice League and New Teen Titans, and actually I just saw she's got the symbol up there on her thing, so that's interesting to see. I wonder what this story's about. That could go in the controversial collection as well, depending on what the story's about. But yeah, that's an interesting one, written by Chris Claremont. You don't see Chris Claremont on DC very often. Then we have Speeding Bullets, Superman Speeding Bullets number 1. This is not a key. It's a story in Elseworlds. You see that at the top there, an Elseworlds story. I think Superman is Batman in that story, if I'm not mistaken. Then we have a couple Adventures of Superman number 500s in the kind of trade form. Got this one, and then this one. So a couple of those. And that is everything that I picked up at Trilogy. So that'll do it for today's Free Comic Book Day haul video. I picked up a ton of books. I got a lot of bagging and boarding that I gotta do now. So I will get to that after I edit the video. But let me know down in the comments what you thought of today's Free Comic Book Day haul. And let me know if you picked up anything interesting on Free Comic Book Day at your local comic book shop. Make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more comic book and pop culture talk. And I will see y'all another day.